Well, hello everyone. This is Jose Youngs with MMAfighting.com, live on the scene at the UFC 244 Media Day. For those of you watching, you are of course waiting for Nate Diaz, the man of the hour. He's still not shown up. Some of the media are debating whether he will show up. He obviously didn't do a media day at UFC 241, but for those sticking around, I greatly appreciate you. I'll keep this camera running just in case he does show up, but this is Jose Youngs with MMAfighting.com, just waiting for Nate Diaz to show up. If you can hear the clutter in the background, that's the media interviewing every other fighter. We have Danny Segura walking around with Esther Lynn and Casey Leiden, getting all of your interviews. That'll go up on YouTube later. But for me, I'm posted up in front of Nate Diaz. I have the Nate Diaz Jorge Masvidal beat today. Right after this, we'll have the stare downs and the face-offs, and then I'll move back in here to get the set up for the Jorge Masvidal live stream. But we are still waiting for Nate Diaz. He has not shown up yet. We've had no indication that he'll no-show, but we're still waiting around. So please bear with us. You're not the only ones waiting. I appreciate you guys all. Hello everyone, this is again Jose Youngs here at MMAfighting.com. I'm noticing a lot more people are tuning in now. For those of you that missed my earlier announcement, we are live on the scene at the UFC 244 Media Day here in New York City. You're watching, of course, the Nate Diaz Media Scrum live stream. We're still waiting on Mr. Nate Diaz, but don't you worry. That noise you hear in the background is every other fighter from the blue corner doing their media obligations. We have Danny Segura walking around getting interviews with Esther Lynn and Casey Leiden. I am on the Nate Diaz Jorge Masvidal beat. As you can hear, our friends over in Submission Radio making a bunch of noise. But we are waiting on Nate Diaz still. There's been no word that he's not going to show up, so we're holding out hope. Us in the media remember very well, UFC 241, Nate Diaz did not do media day. Nate Diaz did a very long, not a very long, but a longer than usual media scrum after his open workout yesterday. He said he only wanted to do 1 or 2 questions and leave. He ended up doing a good 7-8 minutes, so you can go watch that over on our YouTube channel, or we've got a couple clips out there on our social channels like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff. But for now, we're still waiting on Nate Diaz to show up here at the UFC 244 Media Day in New York City. We're here overlooking the lovely Times Square. It's a beautiful, rainy, muggy day in the Big Apple, but as people give me the eye of what I'm talking about over here, we're still waiting on Nate Diaz. Hello, everyone. Jose Young's MMAfighting.com back in your life again. We're still waiting on Nate Diaz here at the UFC 244 Media Day. I've been told he's supposed to be here. Apparently, some people saw his team in his hotel lobby a while ago. So the plan is still for him to show up. We just have no word on when he's going to show up or how long he'll be speaking. But stick around on this live stream. I apologize for those of you waiting to hear Nate Diaz speak. This was, of course, not the plan. We wanted to bring you Nate Diaz in his raw format here at the UFC 244 Media Day at Times Square. But again, stick around. Daniel Segura's on the scene here with me, getting interviews with Casey Leiden and Esther Lynn, cameraman and photographer extraordinaire. But this is Jose Youngs. I have the Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal beat here at the Media Day. So again, bear with us while all of us wait for Nate Diaz. I would turn the camera around. Actually, I can't turn the camera around. You can see all the people waiting for Nate Diaz to show up. As you can see, he is the man of the hour right now. As soon as this portion of the media day is wrapped, the red corner will show up, which includes Jorge Masvidal, Corey Anderson, Kelvin Gastelum's supposed to be here, like all, the A side pretty much. And I will pull back the stream. I will end the stream so we can get the face-offs going. We'll get those out on all our social channels, and then and then I will set back up for the Jorge Masvidal stream right after. So bear with us while all of us wait for Mr. Nate Diaz to show up here at the UFC 244 Media Day. All right, guys. Jose Youngs with MMA Fighting back in your life again. I just got word that Nate Diaz is in the building. Apparently, he's in the loading dock right now. He's en route to the media day, so stick around for a few more minutes, and Nate Diaz should be here. Whether he shows up or not is another story, but Nate Diaz is in the building and en route. Thank you for bearing with us as we all wait here for Nate Diaz to show up here at the UFC 244 Media Day. I am, of course, Jose Youngs, live on the scene in lovely Times Square. Danny Segura, Casey Leiden, and Esther Lynn are behind me, walking around, getting some lovely scrums and lovely photographs of the fighters. It's a madhouse behind me. I'm sure you can hear some of it. You're going to get some awesome scrums from Danny that are going to go up on our YouTube channel later. But bear with us as we wait for Nate Diaz, who is supposedly in the building. Hello again, everyone. Jose Youngs here with MMAfighting.com with another update. Still no word on where Nate Diaz physically is. I've been told he's in the buildings and en route, but we're not sure exactly what that means, where he is in the building, whether he's stopping to get coffee, whether he's just going to hang out in the back and not do a scrum. We've been told he's doing a scrum. We've been told he's en route. Well, you never know with Mr. Nate Diaz. So thank you for sticking around with us here at MMA Fighting. Danny's on the scene getting scrums. I see him right now with Casey and Esther. Those will all go up after media day. We'll have stare downs, we'll have face ups, we'll have all that. But for now, thank you for sticking around and bearing with us as we all wait for Nate Diaz to show up here at the UFC 244 Media Day in New York City. Another update for you fine people tuning in. Jose Youngster, the MMAfighting.com. We're still waiting on Nate Diaz. We were told he was in the building about 10, 15 minutes ago. And, well, exactly 10 minutes ago, I was told he was in the building. I have not received an update on whether he's showing up. We've been told he's on his way, but that's the only thing I know. I imagine he'll show up right near the end, because why wouldn't he? But Nate Diaz is supposedly in the building. We're on the scene here at the UFC 244 Media Day in New York City. I'm here on the Nate Diaz Jorge Masvidal beat. Danny Segura is walking around with Esther Lynn and Casey Leiden. I'm sorry, it's been a long day, guys. They're getting a bunch of great scrums and interviews for our fine YouTube page that just hit 1 million YouTube subscribers. So kudos to us. But we're still waiting for Nate Diaz to show up here. I'll give you a little peek on how many people are actually waiting. A lot of media, as you get a nice view of someone else's camera, actually, so that didn't go nearly as planned. But we are still waiting for Nate Diaz. We got a good 20 to 25 reporters all standing around waiting to speak to him, but still no word on where he is in the building. Last I heard 10 minutes ago was he was in the loading dock. I don't know how far away that is from where we are here at Times Square, or what loading dock even means to this building we are in, but we are still waiting on Nate Diaz here at the UFC 244 Media Day in New York City.
What'd you think about those fuck you soda chants yesterday from the crowd? Nate, I wonder, I mean, we know this isn't your favorite part of the game. How do you get yourself ready for it? Like, what's your mindset walking into this room, knowing you're going to have to do this, that you'd probably prefer not to?
It's just, it's what you guys want me to say. The same shit I've been saying all week already. It's kind of, I don't like to see myself repetitively saying the same shit.
But at the same time, look at how many cameras are here, man. I mean, literally everybody in this room wants to talk to you. Do you find that, like, exciting at all or odd? I mean, literally everybody here wants to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all good.
In hindsight, are you glad you took those years off? Because if you had to do this every few months, would that not eventually burn you out?
Yeah, this is soul sucking. It takes your whole life out of you. Yesterday I was exhausted, but that's the name of the game, right? It's cool.
Not that we want you to, but are you going to get to a position where you can tell the UFC, I should do less of this stuff?
No.
Are there any questions regarding this fight that you feel like people haven't asked you about? Are there any areas that you sort of still want to talk about that people haven't spoken to you about already?
No.
Are you just here so you won't get fined?
No, I didn't even know I'd get fined. That's crazy. No, it's all good. This is part of the game, right? It's just, I'm ready to be done with all this weighing and get to the point. Yeah.
Have you seen the belt yet? Have the UFC given you a sneak peek? What are you expecting from it? From the belt?
I don't know.
What do you
I
think?
expect the belt. No, I don't care. It should be. I hope it looks cool.
Do you care about the Rock being there at all and wrapping it around your waist?
The Rock's coming to put the on the winter hunt. That's pretty cool. That's a big deal, right? That's cool.
Are you a fan of the Rock?
I'm a fan of the Rock, for sure.
Why do you feel like just Dana doesn't want to put a belt on you?
It'd be cool as fuck if Mike Tyson was here, because wasn't that the baddest motherfucker in the game? The baddest motherfucker on the planet or something like that? That'd be cool too.
Before you came along, who was the baddest motherfucker in the UFC?
Nate Diaz, come on. Answer to that.
Nate, this is on you. Like, this is you that willed this into existence. But Dana has said that this is like a one-off thing. And, you know, how do you feel about it? I mean, I'm sure you want to keep on having the BMF title,
Nah,
right?
this is forever.
Do you feel like it's kind of funny that they trademarked the BMF thing after you made it up and it's all on you, that they are now making money off what you invented?
Funny.
You get any love from the vegan community?
Yeah, the vegans get mad though because I'm not a full vegan. So, but it's cool. I'm all about supporting the vegan community though, because everywhere we go, if they have vegan options, that's my best bet. You know, if someone asks like preference on a plane, I say vegan because you can get vegetarian stuff. It's gonna have cheese and stuff all over it. But I eat eggs and I eat like fish sometimes. So, but I love the vegan restaurants and the vegan food and the vegan community for sure. I'm all about it. And like I said, Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty much vegan too. And homie went, remember that one dude who was like,
How much did that question piss you off?
he'd like at him with his ass at the thing. That guy was sorry.
Are you the baddest motherfucker in the triathlon community as well?
In the triathlon community? No. I'm like, man, I'm hardly hanging in there in the triathlon community lately. I gotta step my game up next year for sure. But in the race world, it's another world. Those guys are no joke. But when I get in the season and I start working good, I start getting up there, start placing pretty good in a lot of the races. So, but that's another world that these guys can't keep up with for sure.
Are you surprised more fighters don't do triathlon training?
They're all starting now. This guy that I'm fighting is riding a bike now and swimming, and Connor started riding a bike. Everybody's doing what they were told to do. You know what I'm saying? Father.
Did you see Conor McGregor says that he wants to fight the winner of this fight, and does that interest you at all?
I don't know what's next, man. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and we'll see what's gonna happen in the future. You know, like they said, like I heard before, when stars line up, whenever. I don't know what's next. I'm gonna try to make this fight happen the way it's supposed to happen, and then go from there.
Do you know when would be next? I mean, like, this was a quick turnaround for you. I mean, do you think you'd want to fight quick again, or do you want to take some time
That's
off?
just what I said last time. I'll take forever off, or I'll get back to it if everybody comes correct. You know, the only reason we've had problems in the past is because the only reason why there's any problem in the past is because they're better treat me like you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this game forever doing my thing, and regardless of the outcome, I'm coming back. My next fight is stronger and better, anyways. So.
Could you not fight again? Like, financially, could you be, like, done and live
I'll
okay?
never have to fight again. I didn't have to fight a long time ago. But what I'm gonna do? I got all kind of stuff going on, but
So do you still love the fighting part? I mean, I know you hate this part, but do you love, I mean, I know the fighting, you've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with it, but do you still enjoy getting in there in the competition, or do you hate even that?
no, yeah, I don't like not fighting.
Do you see yourself doing anything else aside from fighting? Like, what could you see yourself doing?
I don't know, all kinds of stuff. But like I said, it's not. I think the best thing for me is it's weird because it's self-destructive fighting and it's self-destructive not fighting. So kill or be killed. Like what I said before, it is can't live with it, can't live without it. I don't want to do this shit at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sitting back watching somebody else do it's not comfortable for me.
It's like the game chose you, basically.
Yeah,
Are you surprised more guys haven't followed your method? I mean, like, you called out Conor, you made this crazy money, you've done it again with Jorge. Are you surprised more fighters don't look at you and think, well, that's obviously the model I should copy?
Yeah, I put out the blueprint for money making the whole time, and these guys up here chasing a belt still, like they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I pay attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And when I was fighting every other month for so many years, or every couple of months for so many years, I only focused and paid attention to how to be the best fighter in the world, you know, like train, and I never had a second to sit back and think about other stuff. So the second I took a year off or 3 years off or something, then everything started coming together, you know what I'm saying? And then my martial arts started coming together better because I recovered and I wanted to be in it, you know. So everything kind of pieces itself together with time.
That statement that you sent out last week, very few fighters would send out a statement like that and go public with that issue that you were having. What was the thought process? Why did you want to come out with it and kind of control the narrative the way that you did?
This is warfare. For one, they call me, telling me all this shit. They're telling me all this, you're on drugs shit. And I'm like, hold up, no, I'm not on drugs, so fix your tests. You know what I'm saying? So I continued taking my supplements, which are whole food supplements. I only eat out the garden, you know what I'm saying? Vegetable, only raw life. I mean, I've trained for fights, and I went on, they don't have them anymore, but I used to eat organic, vegan, raw food. It's like everything's made raw, so you're just straight living on plants. And when I was fighting at 55, it was helping me make the weight. And when I did that, my weight was like going down, right? So I was like, I'm like all the way, and I was at my all-time strongest. You know what I'm saying? And I lived like that, like by that code. Like we gotta, you know, strong and survive type of shit. Like I don't need no shit. And then when they do that, I'm like, you're fucking up my whole shit. What I believe in, and so it's making me lose sleep at night. So I'm like, you know what? This is war, and this ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sleeping. The UFC sleeping. Jorge Masvidal's sleeping. I'm like, how about fuck all of you guys? Ain't no one sleeping. Woo woo woo. Yo, fight's off. Now no one can sleep, and I was in bed smiling. What are you talking about? So it even things out a little bit, and it's what's real. And now look at they flipped their shit, got it together, and there was nothing wrong in the first place. So why did you guys try to fuck with me to begin with?
If you hadn't sent that statement out, what do you think would have happened?
I would have just not came.
What was their
Until they fixed it.
What was their reaction like when you put that statement out?
Were they mad at you?
They called me back and they're like, we fixing it right now. We fix it then.
Nate, in your video blog, you were seen smoking something. I'm assuming it was, what was in what you were smoking in your video blog?
When?
Earlier, I think it was this week or last week.
Something good. I don't know, something. Some chronic.
And you mentioned that it gets a little bit of hate from the vegan community, but you're still like one of the few athletes out there in combat sports who very openly has a mainly vegan diet. Are you surprised that more fighters don't try that?
Yeah, I think a lot of fighters are vegan too. I think I'm probably just the biggest stage probably talking about, but I think there's a bunch of guys out there. I can't think of who right now off top, but I know Kron Gracie, he eats like me too. He eats the same type of thing. And so I think I perform well, and I'm still, like I said, even about my career, I'm still here. I'm still here after however many years. I've been in UFC since I was 21, and I'm 34 now. And I feel stronger, better than ever. And I feel like I'm only getting better and stronger. And when you look at the triathlon community too, and the way that they train and compete, the better guys are older. They're getting older. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was 26 and the guys smoking, everybody was 30, 34, 38, you know? So with time and experience, you get better. And I feel like doing the same thing here. I know how to recover. I know how to train active recovery. I know how to stay busy. I know how to stay busy. I know how to stay busy even when I'm overworked, and come back strong. So I think it's the best way the best thing to do is to think about your whole craft and make sure that thing's working right.
What did you think of Jorge Masvidal sort of showing support to you when this whole USADA situation happened? It almost seemed like
Only because he knows and everybody knows that's some funk that they were talking. You know, it's bullshit. So I expect it, and I would do the same for anybody. I'd be like, even if they were on steroids, I'd be like, do the steroids and let's fight anyway. They all been on steroids most of the time anyways.
You've always kind of said this, the phrase that you're all on steroids. Is there anyone or some guys that you look at and think like, those guys are not on steroids? Because you said you would do the same thing for some other guys, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys not on steroids too, but most, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't put it past nobody. You know, I know a lot of the fucking everybody I'm training with is on the same type of thing. I'm on vegan triathlon. We're all doing the same thing, and we all live in the same mindset. Like, do all the juice you want. I'm still gonna be here when you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think this BMF title will become the title in the division? I know like Covington's fighting Usman in December, but do you believe the BMF title has a lot more popularity and people want to see that defended more than the actual title in the division?
Yeah, the belts and stuff ruin the fight game. The weight divisions, I believe, that you need weight divisions and the title and stuff, but it's like, George St. Pierre a long time ago was doing he was a real entertaining fighter. Then he's like, I need to win and stay winning. So how do I do that? I gotta grab on. I gotta hold on. I gotta run. I gotta point. And that's how it became the whole game. So it's like a loophole into being the best fighter in the world, you know. And it's like you're gonna loophole me out of it because I'm the best fighter in the world and I'm training the best and I'm fighting the best. Because I have like the most of the night bonuses for and fight of the night bonuses and stuff. And no one's acknowledging that. And they're like, this is the best guy in the world. Khabib, I don't think Khabib ever had no fight of the night. I don't remember any of his fights except for that they all were the same fight. And so it's a loophole to being the champion. I'm like, nah, I'm talking about the best fighters in the world are the best fighters in the world. No clock, no time, fight to the finish. Warriors, you know, and that's the fight I called for, and that's the fight that fighter I think I am. And you want a good fight, you're gonna see the baddest motherfuckers fight. You're not gonna see some of these champions fight. And some of the champions, a lot of fighters. I've been saying that. I said a couple times that everybody's whack and stuff like that, and I don't mean to disrespect it, but a lot of the people are some whack fighters out here. There's a lot of really good fighters, a lot of great fighters, and a lot of people doing a lot of really good things. But it's hard to be like think out like who's the best fighter. It's like, well, I have to sit down and think for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because all I can think is me and my brother, and then. Kron Gracie's last fight. Look at that guy, and he's only getting better too. And besides that, you know, and I like warriors. I like real fights. And people forget when they go to fight shows, they forget that they think they're going to see a fight like they're going to see with me and Masvidal or any like really good fight. They think they're going to go and see war. People who don't know the sport, and then they come and then they see like a wrestler holding down like the whole fight card. Everybody's wrestling or running from each other, poking each other, trying to win point decisions. And that's what people didn't really come there for. And they get there and they're like end up just drinking and talking with all their friends at an event. But it's like just like when you go to a baseball game or some shit. You don't watch a baseball game. You just go and sit there and hang out with your friends. I only been like one baseball game. But you know what I'm saying? So, but then when you get a real fight, all attention's on the fight, and I believe that's my fight every time. And then there's fights I fought against wrestlers who've gotten a hold of me and held on, and I'm just like standing up and I'm fighting and I'm telling them fuck you, and they're doing their thing, and then they're getting mad and I'm throwing my hand up and like trying to get them to act, and then all of a sudden the fight's over, and then we got fight of the night, and I go home and watch the fight, and my whole fight I'm punching them in their faces and elbowing them and telling them and antagonizing the fight. and he held on to my waist the whole fight. If you watch what he did the whole fight, he's holding on to my waist. And now I look at him like, man, this motherfucker owes me $65,000, and I just got him fight of the night because he didn't do any part of that. And then how can you just like go on to your next fight like, yeah, fight of the night, like this is what I did? It's like, you didn't do that. That's all me.
So Nate, you mentioned Khabib, and you guys have some history together. Is that a fight that you're interested
No,
in?
not interested in that fight at all. I'm done with that. He's done.
Is that because you feel like it would be a
I already
similar
beat him.
situation?
I already beat him.
Who else are the standout candidates for BMF other than Peter Masvidal? Is there anyone else?
Right, then we're gonna have to see what happens. I don't know. I'm not. Let's see. You guys tell me. I don't know.
Will you defend the title? Do you see this as a title that you'll keep defending as things work out? BMF title, will you defend it?
I think this is. I think that this is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? The fight in general. This is the baddest fight you could get. I think that every fight I have is gonna be the BMF title. Every fight.
Do you have personal interest in the Conor trilogy? I mean, I think everybody wants to see that. You personally, like, business aside.
You know, whatever is gonna happen in the future is gonna happen in the future. You know, I'm not. They play me like I was sitting there waiting for that fight forever, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked it immediately, but when it wasn't immediate, I'm like, well, I'm gonna chase you around. I don't give a fuck. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If he wanted some fun and we were gonna fight, then we were gonna fight. But if it's gonna happen, it's gonna play out how it's gonna play out. I don't know.
Do you think this eventually becomes the 165-pound title?
I started that too, man.
Yeah.
We could have did that if the other guy would have just told him, but he was, you know what I'm saying? That was the move. That was the move that we were making. Like he's like, I'm a company. I'm like.
Maybe you start making 165-pound fights. Maybe you start making 165-pound challenges for people.
Yeah, any weight class. Any weight class is fine.
Nate, how much of this fight is about your legacy and going down in history as the baddest man in the world?
It already is. I feel like, you know, I think it's a game-changing fight. You know.
Do you think there should be open weight in the UFC? Do you think there should be open weight fights in the UFC?
If the fighters wanted it, I guess, I don't know. That's not my call. I'd be down for an open weight. But you know,
Is there anyone outside of your division that you've ever looked at, you know, maybe a bigger guy that's sort of been like a fantasy fight for you if they ever did an open weight division?
Not right now. This is it. This is it.
So are you defending, or is this for the inaugural BMF title?
For sure, come on. I told you from the beginning I was defending this title, you know? So I believe that's what it is. Defense. Shit. Stockton, California, Nick Diaz Army, what's up?
And there he goes, Nate Diaz. Off to the back. Thank you guys for sticking around. We're going to get the stare downs later. We'll get Jorge Masvidal right after. Thank you guys for bearing with us as we waited. This has been Jose with MMAfighting.com. We'll see you in a few minutes.